Live from our various hidey holes across the Wasatch Front, it's Geek Show Podcast.
And now a message from the desk of Sheev Palpatine. Becoming Emperor has made my life miserable. I made a lot more credits before I seized control. I've lost credits since I've seized control. I have people who come up to me and say crazy things like, "You're Darth Sidious," and "You're Rey's grandpa." It's not a job that I enjoy. But I must continue, because there is only one plan, one great design in which I shall govern the universe, and that is my plan. Now, I need documentation of Yaddle's menstrual cycle to make sure it's not just Master Yoda in drag on this Geek Show.
Geek Show, Geek Show, Geek Show!
Geekshowpodcast.com.
Oh, there we are. Hi, everyone. I didn't see you there.
Hi.
Listen, I know I'm pretty vocal about my own period. But
We know that too.
But the second the government asks, I'm going to shut up so fast.
Emperor Palpatine wants to know.
Sorry, I might cough a bunch because I'm breathing this Chinese air.
Yeah.
I have been like, today it's my favorite game. Am I sick or is it inversion?
Inversion.
Welcoming to the show, of course, Rebecca Frost is there. Lee George Cade is there. Quad T, Too Tall Tony right there. And Mr. B, Shannon Barneson right down there. Everyone is here. Jay is on assignment, literally.
We lost the left leg of the full Megazord.
He's fighting that Chinese balloon.
Yeah.
I hear we can just shoot it down.
No.
They've asked not to take pot shots. They've been asked not to take pot shots.
They're like, well, it doesn't seem to be a threat, so we're not going to shoot it down. I'm like, we shoot everything.
Yeah, why are we stopping with this?
Yeah.
It's the size of two buses. If you shoot it down, it's got to go somewhere.
Americans will measure, will use any form of measurement except the metric system.
Yeah.
So you're saying that's about 50 meters long? No.
No.
School buses.
Two school buses.
Two school buses.
It's about 80 pugs.
It's going to land on somebody. Yeah.
It's 7 refrigerators.
So it's 14 emotionally damaged second graders lined up.
Yeah.
A large boulder the size of a small boulder.
Yes. Yeah.
The size of 2 small boulders put together.
It's the width of 2 halves of Boulder, Colorado.
All right. Just real quickly here. Broovies on Saturday.
Yeah.
We're going to be showing Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
That's a pretty good movie.
That is.
And the Lady Cade got so fired up, she's actually going to go to the thing.
Really? Well.
She's like, well, you do the show like that. I'm coming for that quality programming.
Wow.
I was going to ask, can they show DVDs, or does it have to be Blu-ray?
Gotta be Blu-ray.
I don't know.
It's the
The
quality. It's
the
gotta
resolution
be Blu-ray.
bump. The resolution bump to Blu-ray because it make it look a lot better than
I
DVD.
only
'Cause,
have it on VHS.
like right over my shoulder here, I have a whole cabinet full of old Geek Show movie night movies.
And they're all just regular instead of extra crispy. Yeah, it'll be at Broovies on Saturday, the 11th, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes.
The doors are at 11:30. We'll start at 12 with a live podcast recording, and the movie will start after that, probably around 1. And it's pay what you want, as always. So it's Broovies in Salt Lake City.
I've been practicing my spoon playing. Maybe I'll do it live.
We don't have time for that, Lee.
Yeah.
And
No, we got time for that.
And don't forget our Patreon. If you want to support the show, that's the best way to do it, other than liking the like button and all of that stuff on our YouTube.
One of the best ways to keep kids like us off the streets.
Yes, go to geekshowgotthiscovered.com. That's a link to our Patreon. All right. Let's begin, because we've got a lot to get to, and most of it is James Gunn.
Oh boy! Oh boy! I've been waiting for this.
He's pointing at, he's pointing at you, Brett.
I said a couple of weeks ago, someday, DC fans, you'll have good news.
Yes.
Okay, calm down.
Carrie, I've got thoughts I'd like to share.
Oh, well, there are tons.
later.
That's what we're here for.
All right, here we go. So the announcement was made this week of what James Gunn has planned. Him and Peter Safran, who is his manager and partner in all things creative. The writers' room was formed, and they are going to find an overall story that will launch a unified DC universe. Creators have been approached, and a plan, at least what's being called Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters, was formulated, and a slate of projects are in development. Gunn said one of our strategies is to take our diamond characters, which Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and use them to prop up other characters that people don't know, to build those lesser-known properties into diamond properties of tomorrow. So, Chapter 1. Let's begin.
Yeah. Here we go.
Oh
This
my
one-
God, Tony.
Tony's
Now-
it's
So
so hard to
excited.
hear anything with Tony's erection hitting me over the head.
Now, I got a friend of mine who said that this first project, he goes, this is like the one I'm least looking forward to. Actually, I'm very excited about
Looks awesome.
Creature Commandos is
Yeah.
what it's called. Now,
I didn't know what this was until 20 minutes ago.
apparently it's a very old comic.
Yeah, it's super old, but they've redone it several times.
Here's-
I think mostly recently it's known as like Agents of Shade, I think.
Is that it?
Yes. Yeah.
Here's what it says. It's an animated 7-episode series written by Gunn, already in production. So apparently this was one of the deals that he did before he took the job.
Yeah,
This-
he said he's already written it, and it's being animated.
It's being animated right now. Originally a team of classic monsters assembled to fight Nazis, this is a modern take on the concept. It will follow the adventures of Rick Flag Sr., who will appear in other projects, Dr. Phosphorus,
Yeah.
Nina Mazursky, Frankenstein.
It's like-
It's Frankenstein, and it was when he was the bass player for My Chemical Romance.
No,
Yeah.
and it's like Bob Frankenstein. He's got a name.
The lead of the show, the Bride of Frankenstein, G.I. Robot, and Weasel.
Weasel's gonna be.
Yeah,
Weasel
Weasel's in there,
bag.
baby. Yeah.
Yes. The voice actors have yet to be cast, but the executives are looking to find people who can voice the animated characters and also portray the live-action versions of these heroes when they show up in movies and TV.
Hey.
I don't know that
James
I like
Gunn,
this.
hit
like
me
that.
up.
I don't know that I like that
mean,
they're doing it like across the board. I don't know.
I'm available for voice acting as Frankenstein, and I'll get in shape, and I can play a Frankenstein on the screen. I'm big enough. I can wax
Smart
my
enough.
hair.
Strong
It's
enough.
And
okay.
doggone
Gosh
it.
darn it, people like me.
I'm just glad Sean Gunn has another job.
Sean Gunn will have work forever.
will.
Sean Gunn is Ted Raimi walked so that Sean Gunn could run.
Run. So right.
I like that. All right, the next project, Waller.
What's Ron Howard's brother's name?
Oh, that squirrely looking fella.
Clint.
John Howard.
Clint Howard.
Clint Howard. Yeah.
Clint Howard played a freaky bald kid on Star Trek,
Oh, yeah.
so Sean Gunn could run.
All right, Waller is the next episode, a spin-off of Peacemaker,
Yeah.
which, of course, James Gunn. Viola Davis will return as the ruthless and morally ambiguous head of the government task force. The story will bring back characters from Peacemaker and tell a story with events set between Peacemaker Season 1 and 2 because Gunn hasn't had time to write Peacemaker Season 2 yet.
That was the sad news. I thought that
Yeah.
he was like, I'm too busy to make more Peacemaker.
Now, the people behind the show are Crystal Henry, who worked on Watchmen, and Jeremy Carver, who was the creator of the Doom Patrol TV series.
Yeah, baby. Very excited for this one.
All right. Now, the big one, Superman Legacy.
Okay.
The movie featuring the
what
Man
was
of...
that?
Stop
What
it.
was that?
Stop it.
Fine.
She
Well,
hates
I'm
Superman.
just-
She doesn't like Luke Skywalker. She just hates squeaky clean heroes.
Love them Boy Scouts, okay?
All right.
Oh.
God,
The-
he's not a
this
Boy
is
Scout. God.
The movie featuring the Man
Superman
of
is
Steel.
absolutely a Boy Scout.
Gunn is writing and may direct. They really want him to direct it, although he has no commitments on that end that have been made. While the two previous titles are meant to be aperitifs, in Safran's words, Superman is the true kickoff for James Gunn's DCU plans. He says it's not an origin story. It focuses on Superman balancing his Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing. He is the embodiment of truth, justice, and the American way. He is kindness in a world that thinks kindness, Rebecca, is old-fashioned.
Yeah, Rebecca.
And a release date of July 11th, 2025 has been penciled in.
I saw a thing that the rumor, this is all hearsay, so I could be wrong. I probably am. That the front runner for Superman is Jacob Elordi, you know, the terrible boy from Euphoria.
No.
Not true. It's not true.
I just think they should have Frank quietly draw Superman and everybody else live action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'd be
there's
okay
your
with that.
there's your
Muppets,
Superman
no, make it a
project.
Muppet movie. And everyone
sure.
is Muppets except Superman or Lois
All right.
Lane.
Now, Tony, I need you to
Okay.
calm down.
I don't know
Yeah.
if I can, Carrie. I don't know.
Can
if
you
I can.
put your boner away,
I might have to
please?
stand up and start air punching and maybe flex a little
Can you
bit.
Because-
just
tuck
to,
it?
Because
Can't do it. Can't do it.
because lanterns.
It's about a bunch of campers.
So
What?
Greg Berlanti's Green Lanterns TV series has been scrapped.
That's okay.
He's
That's
gone.
fine. Thank God.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
In its place will be a new take on the space cops with power rings. He says, our vision for this is very much in the vein of True Detective. It's terrestrial.
No.
Which is like a weird thing to say. I'm sorry.
up for weird. I'm
No.
up for weird.
He said
We're
it's
putting genres and IPs in a hat, and we're just going to randomly pick them
Yeah,
and make them work.
Green Lantern,
he says
let's
it's
do it.
True
he says-
Detective. There we go.
Yep.
No, when you look at it, it's a cheaper way to make this show and yet still include the character in the whole picture. It is terrestrial based. Our vision for this, let's see.
That worked so good in the movie.
Hey,
will-
just let it go.
It will feature.
Tony, come on, just let him tell the story.
It's going to be a team up. Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. And it says it's one of the most important shows that we have in development. It plays a really big role in leading into the main story that we are telling across film and TV.
See, they're two 70s cops. One of them's a wild card, and the other one's close to retirement. And they drive a green El Camino that they call the Green Lantern. And,
And
minute,
Hal
you're ruining
Jordan's going
this
to be
lead.
like, I'm getting too old for this shit.
yeah,
But I tell you what, if James Gunn is involved,
yeah.
you know you're going to get Chip, the Squirrel Lantern, and the broccoli,
yes.
the broccoli lantern.
The broccoli lantern.
I want the
played
broccoli.
by
I
Sean
want
Gunn.
all of them. All of them.
Yeah.
The guy that looks like a pickle.
There's
Yeah.
there's just
Pickle Lantern.
one.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
just one piece of casting I need, and I'll buy in forever.
Hmm?
Just hire John Waters to play Sinestro.
Yes, yes.
No,
That'd be good.
guys.
I'm all
That's
for that.
ridiculous.
I'm
All right.
excited, in case you
The
can't
next, the next project that was a TV series, Tony. The next project
That
is
makes-
a movie.
So now put it away.
For now, put it away. Yes, the
Can't do
movie,
it.
The Authority.
tell. I'm very
Okay.
excited about this.
Now-
What's with all these movies about cops?
You guys, this is the one.
Never in a million years would I thought that this would be a big DC movie.
And how
Yeah.
did I keep finding all this Frank Quietly art?
I know, right?
You're good at that.
Okay. Should I hold my comments till later? Or?
Well, let me read the synopsis,
Okay.
and then you can do it. This is the movie based on the team of superheroes with extreme methods of protecting the planet from the late 90s under the Wildstorm imprint,
Yep.
which was Jim Lee. He says this is a big movie, said Gunn of The Authority, which he also described as a passion project of his. Said he's currently working on the outline for it with another writer. The Authority is a very different kind of superhero story. They're basically good intentioned, but they think that the world is completely broken, and the only way to fix it is to take things into their own hands. Whether
Yep.
that means killing people, destroying heads of state, changing governments, whatever they want to do to make the world better, we'll see how that journey goes before them. He said they are kind of like Jack Nicholson in A Few Good Men. They know that you want them on the wall, or at least they believe that.
They all can't handle the truth.
The Authority is basically if you took the Justice League and made them characters who 100% believe the ends justify the means.
Yeah.
And they will do whatever it takes to, quote, fix things, end quote.
And so my thing about this is one of my favorite series of all time.
Really cool series.
Warren Ellis.
Yes.
Here's the thing, though. Warren Ellis created it, so you know it's weird,
Yeah.
right? And the thing I'm worried about with James Gunn and some of the things that he's talking about is I love James Gunn. I love DC. I think these movies are all going to be for me. I don't know if they're going to be for everybody else.
Well, we said that about
He's-
Guardians of the
yeah.
Galaxy. too.
He's the one.
I
He's
know
the one that
that.
has a track record of bucking that trend.
And I realize that, but I'm still just a little nervous because, so Tony, you've read The Authority.
Yeah, I've read a
Has
bunch of it.
anybody else read it? Okay.
I've read The Authority on Life, and that's called the Bible.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty much the same thing.
Not only
Yeah.
is just are the characters weird, all their powers are really weird. Too.
Yeah.
So like,
Well, I mean, some of them are really weird. I mean, you're is it Apollo or
Apollo and
He's-
Midnighter.
Midnight? Their powers are pretty generic superhero powers.
Yeah, but also they're Batman and Superman, and
Yeah.
they're a homosexual couple.
yeah, it's
Really?
yeah.
Yes.
It's,
Okay.
It's some crazy stuff. Like especially considering the time that it was written at.
Yeah,
All right.
and then like that guy in the middle, Hawksmoor, talks to cities.
Talks to like the living a consciousness embodiment of cities.
Okay,
and
do
then
your best
the
impression of your favorite city.
He does like drummer stuff. It's so
Listen, this is easy compared to Groot, okay?
well.
All of this is easy.
I'm just saying, it's.
I love it.
I'm gonna
here
love it
for
all.
I'm here for it.
Next project, TV series, HBO Max, Paradise Lost, which they describe as a Game of Thrones style drama set in the all-female island of Themyscira, Wonder Woman's birthplace. Filled with political intrigue and screaming between power players, it takes place before the events of the Wonder Woman films. It says it's an origin story of how did this society of women come about? What does it mean? What are their politics like? What are their rules? Who's in charge? What are all the games that they play with each other to get on the top? I think it's a really exciting thing that we're working on. He said, now what about Diana? And he then replied that they've been in touch with Gal Gadot, who isn't opposed to coming back, but nothing is finalized.
Hey, I got a question. Who is writing this?
I
Doesn't
do not
say.
have that information yet.
Yeah, the only hard
hoping
evidence
it's-
we have on writing
it's
is what
women.
you mentioned. Yeah, it should be
How
for sure.
I'm just hoping this show is
Yeah.
written by women.
I
I'm
hear
sure
they
it will
actually found Amazons.
be. I'll bet if James Gunn's doing it, he's gonna say we need women in the writers' room. for sure.
sounds too woke for me. Oh, can't get into that. Woke.
All right.
No, woke.
Now here's the second biggie. The Brave and the Bold.
Oh, baby.
It's my favorite
Okay.
soap opera.
Sorry, I had went Bat Family. I know I should have gone Brave and Bold, but
That's okay.
so
No, it's all right.
It works.
Here's
I
the
failed.
here's the
No,
synopsis.
because it has nothing to do with Brave and the Bold.
Yeah, it doesn't at all. Just the
Here's
name.
here's the synopsis. James Gunn said this is the introduction of the DCU Batman of Bruce Wayne, and also introduces my favorite Robin. He says Damian Wayne, who is a
Yeah.
little son of a bitch.
I was like, that little turd?
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
He says the movie will take inspiration from the now classic Batman run written by Grant Morrison that introduced Batman to a son he never knew existed, a murderous tween raised by assassins. He says it's a very strange father-son story. It's going to feature other members of the extended Bat family just because we feel like they've been left out of the Batman stories in the theater for too long.
I
Yeah,
accidentally chose the right picture.
You did.
Lee,
great job.
So
He also notes that, says Safran says of note, Gunn played coy when asked about Dick Grayson if he would make an appearance. He played coy with it, but importantly, it will feature a Batman not played by Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, he made clear at the beginning of his Twitter video that there's going to be the main DC universe
Yes.
in across these media, but also a side project that I love that he used the term Elseworld.
yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
Elseworld product.
He said
Tony-
what you're going to see
Tony,
is
I jumped about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
About.
He says what you're going to see is, I mean, we're going to get a Pattinson Batman sequel, but that will be Elseworlds, as will the Joker sequel that we're getting. Will
Also,
be
the Penguin
Elseworlds.
show, because isn't the Penguin show a thing?
Penguin
That's
show
part of
will
the,
also
the
be
Batman.
Elseworlds.
Yeah. Yep.
The Penguin show will take place immediately after this Batman movie, the one with Robert Pattinson, and it will tell the story of him getting control of the criminal underworld in Gotham.
Which
So
I gotta say,
that'll
I'm
be the series.
okay,
quite
So-
excited for that because I thought Colin Farrell's Penguin was underutilized in the Batman, and
He's-
I
he's
can't wait to see what he
multilingual.
does.
The man knows
He speaks Spanish.
So this is another one that I'm just worried about for the general public.
the next project.
No, the Batman.
Oh, the Batman one.
Because I don't know if America's ready for a murderous Robin.
But here's the thing.
I'm just saying, like, once again, I know I'm going to love it.
Yeah.
But I
Here's the
think,
thing.
like, people are going to go, like, why is Robin a murder guy?
They've been doing the things that they think people are ready for, and look how that's worked out for them. So
Yeah.
I think now they're like,
Well,
okay, now we do got to dive
I'm
into
just-
what
I'm
we think
just
people aren't ready for.
I'm
They pulled
just
it
a
off for
devil's
four-
advocate. on
Well,
I
this
gotcha.
stuff.
They pulled
But-
it off for 4 seasons with Titans, though. I mean,
I was going to say, but everybody knows Batman and Robin, and if, as it says here, he played coy about Robin, about it being Dick Grayson, then they can use that to establish, boy, the kid was never like that when I was Robin, or something like that. It's easy to
Absolutely.
do.
Yeah,
It can
we'll
be
see.
done. All right, HBO Max series next, Booster Gold.
yeah.
Which,
yes.
oh.
I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
Unique, lower-tiered hero created in 1986. Gunn said it's about a loser from the future who uses basic future technology to come back today and pretend to be a superhero.
Yeah.
Because everybody in his time is
Yeah.
pretty cool. So he has
So
to go back in time.
he's a janitor
Yep.
in
Yeah.
the future.
Well,
And isn't
and-
he a
and he
janitor
finds-
at one of the superhero museums or something
Yeah, and
like
he finds a time travel device.
Yeah.
well, Gunn described it as imposter syndrome as superhero.
Yeah.
That's what the show will be.
I can't wait for it.
All right.
Oh, you know who they
20
should
years
get?
ago.
That guy, that blonde guy. Hold on, I'm finding
Mark
him.
Hamill?
No.
It's a little old.
Billy Magnuson. I'll find you guys a picture.
Billy
Don't-
Madison, the guy that had to go back to elementary school?
Uh-huh.
to
Yeah.
Off
Well,
to school.
20 years ago, I
Oh, the
would've wanted
guy
Nathan
from
Fillion.
Made for Love.
Yeah.
Oh.
20 years ago, Nathan Fillion would have been the best for this kind of role, and maybe he still could do it, but
Well, this is in my opinion,
Oh,
this
but
is a
he's-
perfect property for James Gunn. This is something that he can easily
Yeah.
exploit.
yeah,
Yes.
100%. But Nathan Fillion is also detachable arm boy in the DC universe, so
Right. And he's already
So he
played
can't be
Booster.
both.
yeah,
and he's
can't
And
be
he's
played
both.
Booster.
old.
And he's played Booster Gold before.
Yeah.
He
All right.
has?
The next
Yeah,
two
on the cartoon.
projects. Yeah. The next two projects are movies. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow.
So when I read about this announcement, I thought to myself, I need to go read some Supergirl books.
Well,
because
you should,
this
because it's
sounds
Tom-
really good.
Yeah,
you
and-
should, because it's Tom King, and
Oh,
he's
And
one of
he's
the
like
best.
central. He's like central to the writing room.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's a Tom King written miniseries. This project is a different take of what we think about Superman's cousin. It says
It's
we will.
her 750th origin story.
All right. It says we will see the difference between Superman, who was sent to Earth and raised by loving parents from the time he was an infant, versus Supergirl, raised on a rock, a chip off of Krypton, who watched everyone around her die and be killed in terrible ways for the first 14 years of her life, and then come to Earth.
Wow.
As it says here, she is a much harsher and more effed up Supergirl.
Oh, make her like Hannah.
Oh, yeah.
And what I've read about that miniseries is it's kind of like a space western.
Yeah, I got to read that. I got the DC Universe subscription, so I'm going to read that.
Now, then the next project, and this is the final project in the Gods of Monsters Chapter 1, Swamp Thing. It will be a horror film. And
Yes.
they are currently reaching out to James Mangold to see if he will direct it. And hopefully he will. He's already tweeted from his account a picture of Swamp Thing, so maybe
Holy
that's...
shit, because that TV series wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't bad at all.
It wasn't horrible. No,
I think
No,
it's
Talking about the USA series from the late 80s.
okay.
Oh.
No,
Oh, I thought
No,
you
that
meant
was terrible. Are you an Adrian Barbobot?
No, she was in the movie in 1980 that Wes Craven directed. I'm talking about Dick Durock's third greatest role when he played Swamp Thing for USA Network.
Well, what were his
Here is-
first and second?
Yeah.
Well, when he played the android Rook that was throwing guys into chasms in Star Trek,
Okay.
and then Swamp Thing 2.
Yeah. With Heather Locklear.
Yeah.
At the presentation, Gunn said the movie will investigate the dark origins of Swamp Thing, calling it a horror film. The character will still be interacting with other DC characters, with the tonal clash a key allure of any mashup, it says here. So there's your Swamp Thing project. Now, other parts of the presentation, this was all done, I think it was at the TV Critics thing. Says, before audience get to see these movies, though, there's a matter of this year's crop of films, which include Shazam, The Flash, Blue Beetle, and Aquaman 2. Said,
I'm the Aquaman.
Here's what James Gunn said about the previous film regime. He said that The Flash, directed by Andy Muschietti, is probably one of the greatest superhero movies he's ever seen.
Dang.
I know, right?
I'm both happy and disappointed.
Me too.
They both said that according to the executives, they are hopeful that Ezra Miller is on the path to betterment. Says Ezra is completely committed to their recovery. We are fully supportive of that journey that they are on right now. When the time is right, when they are ready to have that discussion, we will figure out the best path forward. But right now, they are completely focused on their recovery. And in our conversation with them in the last couple of months, it feels like they're making progress. So there's that. Let's see. They also talked about the Peacemaker series. Anyone cast in Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart, it says, we don't want the stories to feel in any way like stepchildren or lesser than. It's just another way to tell a story. They took on the subject of Henry Cavill in this press conference. Said James Gunn, we didn't fire Henry. Henry was never cast. For me, it's about who do I want to cast as Superman and who did the filmmakers we have want to cast. And for me, for this story, it's not Henry. I like Henry. He's a great guy. I think he's getting dicked around by a lot of people, including the former regime of this company.
Yep.
Said James Gunn. But this Superman is not Henry for a number of reasons.
Well, they keep forgetting to bring up all the people that are screaming about how Henry Cavill's like the new libertarian god. His contract was up.
Yeah.
It's not that they fired him. Like
No.
he said, his contract was over. He did a special thing for Black Adam, but there was no contract involved in any of this.
Right.
So yeah,
And also, they want to start over and cast younger people that can
Yep.
do it for a bit.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what they're saying, is that we're looking at 10, 20 years. So
I
we
read
need to,
I read a little thing from Dave Bautista. I think this was true, but he was talked to play something, and then him and
No,
James Gunn got
he's-
together and
He's
and
wanted
said,
to play Bane.
That's what it was, Bane.
Yeah.
Yeah, and James Gunn is like, well, I mean, we'll need you for 10 or 15 years, and Dave Bautista was like, whoa,
I
Yeah.
can't do that.
yeah,
Yeah,
He's like, I want to do serious actor stuff now.
yeah,
Yeah. James Gunn also talked about Zachary Levi. Didn't talk about, the whole controversy with him apparently being an anti-vaxxer.
Which honestly, not new.
I know.
If we've been
Right.
paying attention to Zachary Levi over the course of the last couple of years,
Yeah.
I never
He's a
never
nut.
trusted the man. I never trusted the man.
I did when he was Chuck.
Well,
yeah, he's got that.
You
chip
cannot
in
be a
his head.
spy
He
and not
knows.
kill people. Ever since then, I've been so anti-Zachary
Here's-
Levi.
here's what Gunn said about it. Actors, filmmakers that I work with are going to say things that I agree with, and they're going to say things I don't agree with. I can't be changing my plans all the time because an actor says something I don't agree with. At the same token, if someone is doing something that is morally reprehensible, that's a different story, and we'll take that into account.
Except for Ezra.
He says, I've got all these different feels from all these different stories, and that's what makes it fun. He's also added, we're not stupid. Not every filmmaker is going to be happy, because if someone is doing something that isn't working, we're going to be honest. He also adds the history of DC is pretty messed up. And he talked about the plans that Warner Brothers was doing, and again referencing the past regime, he said no one was minding the mint. They were giving away IP like they were party favors at any creator that smiled at them, they gave them to.
Oops.
So
And he also said, "I know I'm not going to make every fan happy."
Yeah, he did say that. Yep.
You know, and
and
I'm
let's see.
excited for it. Like, I hope
I'm
I didn't
here.
sound like I was poo-pooing things. I just think some of it might be a hard sell to Joe Public.
After the announcements, a rival studio executive said, "Well, this is what happens when you put a writer and director in an executive role."
Oh my gosh.
A
Get outta
creative
here.
type.
Yeah.
I know.
Jeez.
How dare they? Let's see. He added there is the Arrowverse. There was the DCEU, which split off, became Joss Whedon, Justice League at some point, the Snyderverse. At another point, there's Superman and Lois and the Reevesverse and all these things. He says, we just have to get it all under control. But
One of the interesting things he talked about too is that he wants it to be across basically all forms of visual medium. You
Yeah.
got cartoons, TV shows, movies, and video games. And people are saying, well, what are you going to do about video game delays and blah, 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 blah? How are you going to tie in with important things? Well, the obvious answer to me is you don't put a video game out that is central to the storyline of your main storyline stuff. You can have it be in the same universe and just be a really cool side story with other characters
Exactly.
in the same universe.
yeah. And here's the final statement that he made. He says, "We're not going to put hundreds of millions of dollars into a film where a screenplay is only 2/3 of the way done, and we have to finish it while we're making the movie." I think he's talking about Black Adam. Anyway, I could be wrong. He says, "I've seen it happen again and again, and it's a mess. I think that's the primary reason for the deterioration of quality of films today versus 20 or 30 years ago." He concluded with, asked by the press if he would continue to have to use social media to debunk rumors, as he has done on his Twitter feed. He said, "Have to. That's my joy."
Yeah. I'd say now more than ever.
And once again, I'm going to point out, I can't believe this is the guy I got drunk with at Broovies
Yeah.
How?
like 15 years ago.
Many moons.
I just want to say I am so happy that a full half hour was dedicated to DC news in this episode.
But wait, there's more.
You can rest.
Carrie.
Yes.
I've got one more item here.
love
After this announcement was made and it was passed around the internet, we began to see increasing comic book sales for the titles that James Gunn mentioned.
Nice.
Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow by Tom King, All-Star Superman Deluxe Edition Grant Morrison, Batman by Grant Morrison Omnibus Volume 1, Absolute Swamp Thing by Alan Moore, Warren Ellis's The Authority Omnibus, which is currently out of print, just so you know. Currently, I'm sure it will go back into print now that this has been made.
And once it
according-
is, read it. It's amazing.
According to Amazon's current list of best-selling superhero comics and graphic novels, readers are snapping up Morrison's Batman and Superman books, as well as King's Supergirl. It also shows the same 3 books in the top 14. That's just one day after Gunn made these announcements. Now, I would just say to you that if you own any of these, throw them up on eBay. And then rebuy them new when you... especially that Authority collection, because people will want that. So there's your DC news. Are you happy?
I'm so happy.
We
Tony,
only
you can
do
rest.
Marvel.
You can rest now.
I don't know if I can. I'm just so wound up. This is
I know,
He's all
right?
riled up.
This is such a good day.
Tony, go take a run around the block.
Now, I still have a couple of DC items.
Yes.
Oh my God, there's
Let's
more.
keep going. Let Tony,
Keep this
No,
let
we'll just-
Tony live.
train rolling.
This will just be quick.
DC train rolling. How does the song go?
Something like that.
I know you're all huge fans of Pennyworth, the origin of Batman's butler, but it has been canceled.
I really liked Pennyworth.
Did you watch it? Okay, good.
I watched it professionally. I reviewed it. Did we skip Hitmonkey? Or did I just not get
No,
Pennyworth
we're
on
getting there. Sorry.
Anyway, somehow I missed Pennyworth. I got it in the wrong order. But
It's fine.
Pennyworth was a very grim alternate reality from the Gotham storyline. They had people in gibbets hanging from the side of the road. Like it was kind of a wild story. I enjoyed
Well,
it.
chances are, I mean, it won't be on HBO Max, but chances are you'll be able to see it again because apparently Fox-owned Tubi is adding more than 225 video-on-demand titles from Warner Brothers and Warner Brothers Fast channels. So this is where you're going to go for your Westworld, your Raised by Wolves, your Legendary.
Tubi? Seriously?
Don't make me
Tubi?
download Tubi.
Tubi and Roku.
Roku channel.
Yeah. So they will have them all, and they will all be on demand. So that's where you'll be able to go to see these.
I have a question about Pennyworth. If I were to, I mean, I'm not going to, but if I were going to watch Pennyworth, does it do a good enough job of like standing alone and like you wouldn't even know it's in the Batmaniverse?
You only know because of the name Thomas Wayne. And
Okay.
he's Pennyworth is a wild little. I mean, like it has no business existing, and it was only cool because I thought it was weird. Like it's really weird, and it stopped being weird towards the end of the first season. But like the first, like there's political intrigue. He's kind of a secret agent, but he's also not a secret agent because he's only doing secret agent stuff for Thomas Wayne. And it's a wild alternate history of a 60s that never existed.
Yeah. I like that
So-
episode where he learns how to make watercress sandwiches.
Yeah, he's very much just like a hooligan that's really good at beating the crap out of people. So
Yeah, that sounds kind of fun, actually.
Oh, we got
It
four
is.
more stories. We're just going to rush through these so we can find out what you guys have been consuming. First of all, Hitmonkey, strangely enough, has been renewed at Hulu.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah, I know. It will get a second season, but it will not have Marvel branding on it.
Oh, that's weird.
Okay.
They're taking the Marvel title away from it because it's a different group now, apparently. So Marvel TV folded into Kevin Feige's Marvel Studios in 2019,
Well,
and that's
will they still have Marvel references and stuff in it?
hard to say. Hard to say. So, but we're getting another season of Hitmonkey. Shannon is excited because we're getting a King of the Hill revival.
I am also excited for this.
You guys, like, I've been wanting this since Trump.
See, and that's I'm curious how they're going to do it. Is it going to be just jump ahead to our time with characters that are the same age, or are they going to have the characters be
That's-
20 plus years old?
What are they gonna do with Luann?
Well, no, here-
Recast her, unfortunately, but yeah.
I could do Luann.
The thing about King of the Hill, if you go back and watch the episodes, right? Mm-hmm. It was never time specific. It was always just like commentary
That's true.
about society. So
Right.
But it says they got the voice cast back. The reboot has been rumored for years. It's finally a done deal. Judge and Daniels reunited with King of the Hill and the cast at 2017 at Sketchfest in San Francisco for the 20th anniversary of the show. But then that's when the talk started. But now it's there, and they've got the whole cast back. Also, and Rebecca is very excited about this, Scott Lang's autobiography.
I can't believe this
Amazon
is a real
says
thing.
this book is 256 pages long.
What?
How? How?
big print.
Big print.
Pictures, lots and lots of pictures.
Apparently, it plays a part in the new Ant-Man movie, February 17th, by the way.
It's the secret
I
secret
wanna
diary of
listen
Laura
to-
Palmer all over again.
I want to
Yeah.
listen to because there's a podcast. What show is it? I wish I could remember which show it is, but someone's listening to the Scott Lang podcast.
Really?
That's what I want to hear. Yeah.
But it's there's a video about it where Paul Rudd is voicing it. And says, "Oh, hi, I didn't see you there. Hi, I'm Paul Rudd, and I'm reading Scott Lang's book." So that's going to be available not until September, sadly, but it will be available soon. It's called "Look Out for the Little Guy."
Love it.
And finally, this is the story I've been dying to break to all of you. According to a recent report in the Wall Street Journal, Universal Studios Hollywood has warned that some guests might not be allowed to ride the Mario Kart Browsers Challenge.
I love the picture Lee got.
Well, there's a reason. Because apparently the average American male is too large.
Hey, wait a minute. Hey, whoa.
Hey, that means this fat gal can still ride it.
It
this
says
sizeism.
it says that if your waistline measures 40 inches or more,
God damn it!
Well,
that limitation is going to
nuts.
potentially leave many guests very disappointed after enduring a long line at the new attraction.
Well, I would think they would have something that's like, you must be this tall to ride and this round. Less than you
Less
must
than
fit
this
in
round.
this cylinder. Like, you know those things that they have,
Have a
like
thing that
if
just,
your
like,
if your bag
clamps
can
on
fit
someone.
if your bag can fit in this, you can carry it on. But like one of those,
They're
but
gonna have
for
this
people.
They're gonna have this tiny little person standing there, and they're like, if Joe can't wrap his arms around your waist, you can't ride the ride.
Or just have the
Thank you for the hug, but you cannot ride this ride.
If you can't get an embrace from Joe,
yeah, or
You
you could
can't
just
ride this ride, but here's a consolation hug.
at the
I'll
end of
tell
the
you why.
line. At the end of the line before the ride, have a little slide, and if they can't fit down the tube of the slide, then you don't
An
get on the ride.
An extra wide reinforced slide, like the kinds that you see at the fair, where you have to
or-
ride on a potato sack all the way down.
That's right. Above it, it'll say "No slide, no ride."
or Joe hugs you and goes, "Try a salad every once in a while."
Oh my God, it's my mom all over again.
Now, I thought this was, surely they would have figured this out in the design. But
No.
apparently, in recent years, theme parks have become more stringent about safety restraints.
COVID
and
was hard on us, though. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, I know I've done some snacking.
It's not just roller coasters. It's indoor rides have become more complex and highly immersive experiences, and the tech that they employ has also become more complex and more dangerous. So,
like the ET ride at Universal.
Much more complex.
the example given is trackless vehicles now definitely weave through attractions like Galaxy's Edge Rise of the Resistance with more speed and agility than the ride vehicles used in classic attractions like Pirates of the Caribbean, for example.
Well,
I-
see,
That's
when,
why
when you
that-
when you have a small ride or a ride that moves around quickly, and you put someone in there where some of the mass of their body doesn't move with the rest of their body as they slide.
Listen,
there's a thing called inertia, and I
that's
don't
why-
like it. I'm not a
That's-
fan.
That's why the Tower of Terror ride is actually like so scary now, because of all the fat people on it. And I know it falls faster than like gravity would actually pull it, but now it's like going like extra fast.
I want my rides to stay like they were when I was a teenager. Damn it. If Indiana Jones isn't hanging lifelessly from a rock and a rope above
Yeah.
me for 20 minutes in a broken down Indiana Jones ride, I don't want to ride it.
Yeah. All right. What have you consumed this week? Who wants to go first?
I have a lot.
Okay, Rebecca.
Well,
And-
I've only got a little. Should we go little to a lot?
Okay. I got
Go,
a medium
Shannon.
amount, so I'll go in the middle.
Go for it,
either way.
Shannon.
This has been a real walk down memory lane. Do you guys see this?
Hey, you found an iPod.
Oh,
My
nice.
iPod Classic, the Bird's
Nice.
Tiki
What's
Lounge
that?
jukebox,
Oh.
and it's been fun to like go back and
It still
listen
works.
to- it still works.
That's awesome.
Yeah. ABC has got a show I like. Will Trent.
Will Trent?
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Exactly. It's like a police procedural, but I really like the character.
Okay.
And the actor's really good. I'm absolutely obsessed with Poker Face.
As you should be.
Yeah, good show.
yeah.
Some of the best writing I've ever seen in a show. And once again, sexy Columbo. And just like everybody else, I'm also watching Shrinking.
Let me tell you about Shrinking. I started the first episode last night, and it has got that classic Bill Lawrence stank on it, like another
See, I
banger.
love Bill Lawrence. I
yeah,
love it.
it's another banger. If you like Bill Lawrence stuff like Scrubs and Ted Lasso, like this is another
Okay.
banger.
All right.
And yeah, that's it. We're so lucky. We have so many good shows.
The other Harrison Ford TV series got renewed as well. The one where he's in the West.
The
just so you know.
Yellowstone.
Yeah, the Yellowstone.
Yeah, I wonder
one.
if Harrison Ford's on Shrinking because Callisto is like, I did a sitcom once and it was fun. Maybe you should give it a try.
I like comedy.
Rebecca.
Okay, I had a very busy week. I'll try to go through this so fast. For Sundance movies, I only saw one Sundance movie, and it was The Aliens Abducted My Parents, and now I feel kind of left out. Disney Channel
Local.
original movie at Sundance. Yeah.
Locals.
Is it
Locals
good? I
worked
like
on this.
I
yes.
like the title.
It felt like a Disney Channel original movie. It was fine. And in my quest to watch all of the Oscar-nominated stuff this year, I've been tearing through all of the shorts. I'm not going to name every single one of them, but there's one on Apple TV in particular called The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. And it's based on a book, which is absolutely adorable.
I have that book.
It's absolutely adorable. Watch the short on Apple TV Plus. It's incredible. I watched, subjected my eyes to Babylon. Damien Chazelle, why have you done this to me? And then last night I watched After Sun. Daddy Issues Activate. Okay. And then for Throwback Thursday, I watched Groundhog Day for the first time.
For the first time?
For the
Really?
yeah,
Oh,
I don't know
yeah,
why you
right
guys
on.
are surprised. I don't know why you guys are surprised.
Classic
It came
movie.
out when she was like 2.
It came out when I was 4, actually.
Oh, I was off by 2 years.
Yeah, get it together.
Right.
The philosopher in me absolutely loved it. I thought it was great. And then last night I also watched Plane.
How is that?
You know what? It knows exactly what it is, and I feel like it's low key racist.
What?
It's who's the star?
Gerard Butler.
Gerard Butler.
Butler.
Oh, no.
And Luke
Lands
Cage.
a plane.
Yeah.
And Gerard Butler. The plane has him out. The crash lands the plane, and then hostages. It's whatever. It knows exactly what it is. If you like action,
It's a
kung fu
Gerard
movies.
Butler movie.
It's a Gerard Butler movie.
Nice.
TV shows, Poker Face and Shrinking. Already talked about that. I do want to mention 3 other things, though. On the Geek Show Discord, please join our Patreon, and you'll get access to the Discord. We've got some fun stuff going on in there right now.
That's geekshowgotthiscovered.com.
The fun stuff we have the Oscars death race going on right now, where there's a group of us trying to watch all the Oscar nominated stuff. But another one that has just recently started, I can't remember the guy's name and I'm so sorry, but he started a music league in the music channel where essentially you join a music league and then there's a challenge that's like, hey, what's a guilty pleasure song? And then everyone submits a guilty pleasure song and you all have to vote on a song. And it's been really fun.
That sounds fun.
All I have is guilty music pleasures.
Yes.
It's not a guilty pleasure if I'm not embarrassed by it.
Yeah.
And then lastly, I want to mention the Fireside Chat. That's available on our YouTube now.
Yes.
And that's all. That's it for me.
Nice.
And Rebecca directed that, just so you know. So thank you. Let's see. Who's next? Lee?
Yeah, I'm pretty quick on this one. And I'm amazed I got this past Rebecca, but Last of Us season 1 episode 3.
Oh man.
We do a deep dive that's going to be posted here very soon.
Very shortly. The episode was called Long, Long Time, and it's Murray Bartlett and Nick Offerman basically playing a couple of people who find each other when the world falls apart. To say that it was one of the best episodes of television of all time, that might be hyperbole, but in my opinion, it was. So
I would agree.
just incredibly well made, incredibly well produced, and we did do a deep dive on that. I finished the novel of Altered Carbon, and now I'm mad, and that's something I didn't want to be or expect to be when I reached the end of the book. I didn't hate the TV series, but I found myself in this weird place where normally I read a book and then it's adapted, and I go, oh, well, here's some things they changed, here's some stuff, but I'm not usually... if I read the book after the adaptation, I don't usually find myself being so critical of the media that was produced from it. And this, I am so mad at the TV series that Netflix produced because I enjoyed it. It was okay. And then there were some choices made where they were just like, well, we could have this really cool thing at the end of the book that was amazing and blew my mind, or we could just do something else that's kind of boring and dumb. So anyway, I found myself very upset. By your recommendations last week, I decided to dive into Poker Face. Normally, I do not just start a show and because I have a lot of hobbies, I'll usually watch an episode a night or every couple of nights or whatever else. We burned through the first 3 episodes Saturday night. We caught the 3rd episode or the 4th episode on Sunday night, which just amazing. And then the most recent episode, which is called Time of the Monkey, guest starring Judith Light. It's a murder in an old folks home, and it's phenomenal. And there's
like,
some
just ugh.
there's some sight gags in there that are amazing, but not only that. At one point, we started analyzing something like, would a 74-year-old woman have the strength to do something this 74-year-old woman did? And we're like, oh, actually, yes, this particular one would. But I don't want to spoil it for people. This is a show that if you're not watching
You have to pay attention to it.
you got to pay attention. This isn't a click on your phone show.
Because there's no throwaways in it.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
everything
Yeah.
leads into something else.
That's what
Yeah.
what this show is like catnip for my husband and I. So we
Yeah.
do spend the entire episode like, oh, that's important. Oh, that's important. Did you see he put that thing in his apron? Oh, you got to pay attention to that.
I love
Yeah,
that.
I do not normally watch non-genre shows. I'm a fantasy sci-fi kind of person, but you give me a compelling mystery, Knives Out, Glass Onion. Of course, it's Ryan Johnson doing all three of these things. It's just really good. And then started reading Count Zero, the second book in the Neuromancer trilogy from William Gibson. So that's me.
All right, Tony.
Stuff we already talked about. I've also been consuming and just absolutely loving. Last of Us, Poker Face, other things.
Name them.
Also, I will caught up on Abbott Elementary. So good.
Wait, what was the last episode? Because they didn't have an episode this week, right?
Oh, actually, I think I might be one episode behind still.
Well, I
'cause-
don't know that they had one this week.
Oh, but now I
It
don't
doesn't matter.
remember
It's
what
so
the
good.
last
It's so
episode
good.
was because I just remember after everyone just like, I love this show.
I wish I could handle that show.
We
That's so
finished
cute.
Tulsa King.
Yeah.
We finished it.
Yeah.
I will say there was a twist at the end I did not see coming, and
Yeah,
maybe that's because I'm
such
stupid.
good trash.
But
Such good
yeah,
trash.
it's basically just fun
Well,
trash.
you want trash? Sylvester Stallone is going to do a reality show with his family. He's doing it.
It's gonna be just like the Osbournes.
It's literally, isn't it Sly and the Family Stone?
It should be.
Oh my
You know,
gosh.
it better be.
Sly
and the Family Stallone. It should.
Yeah.
Stallone.
Oh, my
I
bad.
love
I
it.
forgot about his actual name.
I hope he goes and I hope he goes and beats up his plastic surgeon.
I've been playing the remake of Dead Space and Chef's Kiss. It is just
that good?
phenomenal. So good. Even if you never touched the old Dead Space, you're gonna have an amazing time. If you played the old Dead Space to death, you're gonna have an amazing time. It's the absolute
told
epitome.
to stop touching the old Dead Space.
Don't stop touching the Dead Space. You got to keep the Dead Space active and a lot and moving. Just it's the absolute best example of what a video game remake should be. It is phenomenal. And then last but not least, we found this show that dropped on Hulu recently called Extraordinary, and it's this English. Like BBC, I don't know if it was BBC, but it's an English program. It's the first season. It's a half-hour sitcom set in a world where everybody has superpowers
Yeah,
except
they get him
for
at like
the
at
main
the age
character.
of 18, right?
Yeah, at the age of 18, everyone, and it's only been happening for like 30 or 40 years for some reason.
So someone watched My Hero Academia and said, "Let's make a show."
Kind of, yeah. Except there's no schooling involved or anything. These are all adults. But it's actually quite funny. I highly recommend checking out Extraordinary on Hulu. It's got a lot of good laughs and a lot of interesting kind of takes on the powers genre.
Okay. All right. All the shows that have been discussed, I heartily recommend. Three that were not mentioned, I have on my list.
Wow.
First of all, I'm the lone prop-up person for American Auto.
I'm
I
sorry.
want to love it.
I
I just
know,
keep
I
forgetting
tried.
it exists.
I just didn't.
I'm
I
going to
just
start
couldn't.
watching it, Carrie.
I'm the lone voice in the wilderness about American Auto, so go and enjoy it while you can, because I get the feeling being the lone voice is prophetic. All right. Also, finally got to see Wakanda Forever because
I watched that too, actually. Yeah.
I never made it to the theater to see it
Last night. I watched it.
because
So good.
it certainly didn't need my help in the theater, but I finally saw it and quite enjoyed it. Also, an interesting take on Namor, I thought.
What his name means.
Yeah,
I love that.
All of that. I loved all
Yep.
of that stuff, and that's not in the comic book. And I just went, you know what? You made the character better, I think.
I agree, too. I agree.
But that's me. Finally, my big recommendation this week. It's on Netflix, and it's a show called Kunk on Earth.
What?
Oh, I
People
want to
have been,
watch
like,
this.
raving about this.
I want to watch
CUNK,
this.
Kunk on Earth. And apparently, this is not the first series that she has done. Basically, imagine if, well, I can't say Borat, but imagine a Borat type situation where this woman makes documentaries and
It's
interviews.
kind of like
Yeah.
an idiot abroad, but with a woman.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
And-
An Idiot Abroad.
And she, interviews professors and talks about, the ancient Greeks and but it's damn funny because she's ignorant and willfully.
Well, you know what that sounds? It sounds kind of like Check It Out with Dr. Steve Brule, where he goes and interviews people, and he's an idiot and
But,
doesn't
this is
understand what's going on.
what makes it different because Brule is such a wild character. She believes everything that she says. You know?
Oh, okay, okay.
When she says, "Now we're the cavemen, we're the ancient people. Were they made of the same meat like us?" It's weird. It's weird things like that.
So
And
she's
then-
done her own research.
Yeah. And then these professors have to say, "Well, we're all made of meat. I'm guessing it would be the same kind of meat."
Well, carbon-based life form.
Just watching these professors and museum curators scramble because they think that this person is real. It's just brilliant. So Kunk on Earth is what it's called. Games. Do we have any?
Yeah, we do actually. Things are starting to pick up because we had so many delays from last year that these games are finally starting to come out. We got a new where'd it go? Spellforce. A new Spellforce. Oh, that was last week. This week, Wanted Dead. This is a new genre, not a new genre, but a new IP. It looks interesting, but it looks like something that would have come out gameplay-wise in like the PS2, Xbox era. It's a third-person action smash-up kind of a game. Looks interesting. Might be good. Keep an eye on that one. We also have Journey to the Savage Planet on the new generation systems. That one's been out on the older systems for a while. Souls of Kronos coming out on PC, PS5, and Switch. No love on the Xbox for some reason. Mm-hmm. And then the big one everyone's excited for this week.
Star Citizen.
Nope. Lee, how many times I got to tell you? That game will never come out.
No, Tony, I know. They couldn't even hit their December patch, and it's already February.
Most of the things I love in life are that way as well.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Lee. Hogwarts Legacy comes out this week.
Fake.
So, yeah, it's been
Yeah.
delayed so many times that we'll see if it actually
If you
does.
want to make sure a transphobe gets a little money, make sure to sign into it.
So there is that one. Takes place 100 years before Harry Potter, and it's developed by a team here in Salt Lake City.
Oh.
Avalanche Software, I think is
Avalanche
what
they did the old Infinity game with
they are.
Disney.
Yeah, Disney Infinity. Yep, that
Yep.
same studio. So
Yeah.
there you go. If you like the Hogwarts, there's something to check out.
All right. Thank you very much. Mr. B, if you would, please.
So you guys, we've really, really screwed up the ham. Let's just give it to James Gunn to fix.
Yeah,
He can fix it.
anything.
Yeah.
I think he's going to recast the ham.
He's going to recast the ham.
The ham was never cast in the first place.
That's
The
right.
ham
We
was
never
never
fired the
fired.
ham.
The ham was never
Yeah,
hired.
the ham
And
was,
it was dicked around by the last regime.
and actually, we had a really nice meeting with the ham,
Yes.
and we
There's-
agreed just to split.
Seems like
There's
a good
rumors
guy.
that the ham is actually pretty mean to women.
I hear that he's gone off to do a new Warhammer 40,000 franchise.
Oh,
I also heard the ham smells like cigarette smoke from Jimmy Martin.
That's true.
Scandal. Thanks,
right.
everybody, for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks, everyone.
You're all delicious.
Yes.
We love
thank you all.
Like and subscribe. Make sure to show up next week for the movie with the Scott Pilgrims.
Yes. Next week. Well, 1 week from today, I mean. Yes.
Yeah, 1 week from this recording day.
At this time.
Amazing.
All right.
Okay, bye.